And this is certainly more than 2 or 3. So boy, do we have a lot of blessings. And we just give him praise for bringing us safely here today. We're going to continue with another health information segment. I guess it's a little bit of a bigger bite than a nugget. So I wouldn't say it's a nugget. A nugget is like, so I think we're going to get a little side dish instead of a nugget. As always, all the information presented is for educational purposes only, and it does not take the place of your doctor and seeking your medical advice. So the information here again is given for educational purposes. Just looking back at what we've shared in the past, pure air, sunlight. Can you please read this with me? Because these are the true remedies. Let's read together. Pure air, sunlight, abstemiousness, rest, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, and trust in divine power. These are the true remedies. Okay? And the Lord God said to ancient Israel, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. And this promise is still available to us today on the purpose that we obey, right? If we do, he will do. In 1903, look how long ago this was, Thomas Edison was concerned about the health care of his time, and he stated he was concerned about the health care of what? His time. The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patient in the care of the human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease. Isn't that something? In 1903, he was concerned. How are we in 2021? Right? And did we, based on what he was expecting the progression to be, would we say that we hit the mark as yet? All these years after, have we arrived to what Thomas Edison had hoped the future would be? Not even close. Not even close. I want to bring your attention to this. Remember, we're still focusing on COVID-19 and the virus that has been bombarding our land and the world. This is an x-ray. In the x-rays here is a photo of a normal lungs. That's my left, your right. The middle one is a smoker's lung. And then the last one, my right, your left, is a COVID-19 lung. And that Dr. Blankhead Kendall shared this with the CBS Dallas News. The healthy lungs are clean with a lot of black, which is mainly the air. In the smoker's lungs, the one in the middle, white lines are indicative of scarring and congestion. Look at the COVID lung. So after hearing that, the white lines are indicative of scarring and congestion. The COVID lung is filled with white. So the doctor is saying, and I'll let the doctor speak for herself, a Texas trauma surgeon says it's rare that x-rays from any of her COVID-19 patients ever come back without dense scarring. Dr. Brittany Bankhead Kendall, she tweeted, post-COVID lungs look worse than any type of terrible smoker's lungs we've ever seen. And they collapse and they clot off, and the shortness of breath lingers on and on and on. So she's talking about long-term effects, even after supposedly recovering from the virus. She says her patients who have had COVID-19 symptoms show a severe chest x-ray every time. And those who were even asymptomatic showed a severe chest x-ray 70 to 80% of the time. So this is serious business. Dr. Amesh Adalja, an infectious disease expert and senior scholar at Johns Hopkins University Bloomberg School of Public Health, he told the CBS News that some patients with severe COVID-19 could feel the impact for years to come. When someone recovers from pneumonia, whether it's a bacterial pneumonia or viral pneumonia, it's going to take some time for their x-rays to clear up, for their chest x-rays to clear up. So they start feeling better, but their chest is still very much not in good shape yet. And that's why they're saying it lags, because over time they're hoping that that improvement will come about, and sometimes it's permanent damage that they're getting. What can we do? What can we do, and what do we do with people with pneumonia and being bombarded with the virus? Well, for sure, we believe, and this is something that as a nurse we often told when dealing with people with pneumonia in the hospital, we always have to sit them up, encourage them to do deep breathing and cough. That forces, that exhalation from even the lowest lobes of the lungs and helps to get rid of the carbon dioxide and bring in fresh air. Deep breathing, in order to have good blood, we must breathe well. And this may seem simple, but this works. Fresh air flooding the system helps to improve our blood and our body. It takes away some of the acidity in the body. Full, deep inspirations of pure air, which fill the lungs with oxygen, purify the blood. They impart to it a bright color and send it a life-giving current to every part of the body. Good respiration soothes the nerves, and it stimulates the appetite. After coming back from a good walk, you feel hungry, you're ready to eat. You've been playing outdoors, and so it's ready to eat, and renders digestion more perfect, and it induces sound, refreshing sleep. After a good play outdoors, don't the kids sleep well? They knock out. And we too, when we're working outside in the yard and then we come back in, we have no trouble feeling rested or getting to sleep. So let's breathe. So take your purse out your laps, take your keys out your laps, put your hymnal off of your laps, and I want you to just come forward to the edge of your seats, and we're going to teach you the same technique we share with our COVID-19 people as we help them. Because you have to be able to do this at home and maybe to be a blessing to someone else. So I had Michael here demonstrating. We're going to breathe in. And I always love to watch Enoch sleep. When he's just relaxed and sleeping, you just see his little tummy just moving. I love it. And I said, we have to learn from little Enoch how to breathe again. Because a lot of us just breathe right here. So as you're breathing in, pretend you're blowing into a balloon, and as the balloon, the air is filling, the stomach is what should rise, not your chest. So we're not breathing, not like this. If you're doing that, you're not breathing properly. Your stomach should be rising, pushing out, like the balloon. And then when, and I'll let Michael demonstrate, and then when you're breathing out, it's like you're squishing the balloon, right? So the air is being forced out, and we're going to purse lip, breathing out, purse lips, breathing. So we're going to breathe in for the count of 4, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to exhale slowly, but completely for a count of 9. It equals 20 seconds. And you want to do this if you're sick. You always want to crack the window in your home so we have that fresh current of fresh air, and you're breathing in fresh air to energize and purify the blood. Right, go ahead. And Remember, I want you to just learn the technique. Your best thing is with fresh air. We're all indoors, so it's not your best setting, but we want to practice. We want to run through it at least twice. So Michael, I'm going to count. Everybody, you're getting ready. Okay, as you breathe in, make sure you're pushing your stomach out. And we're going to go. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did you feel like you worked? If you felt like you worked, you did it right. Because we don't do that enough. That's just the way. Let's do it quickly again, one more time. And then you practice. First thing in the morning is excellent. And as many breaks as you can, leave your desk, leave the house, go outside, do it in the fresh air is best, okay? Even with COVID-19, the more you do this, the better. First time doing it, you may feel a little lightheaded. That's normal with the huge rush of oxygen to the brain. But take your time and practice at least 5 times. So let's go again. We're breathing in. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So now you're equipped to help others breathe and to be healthier. Now we've heard all the stuff that the surgeon had shared about the lungs, and because of that, we encourage everyone that we meet, whether you had COVID or not, or you had it, have it, or have recovered from it, to still do the super flu bomb. Do it for at least 2 weeks, just putting yourself, because what we're hearing is there's still going to be lingering effects that tend to go on. So we want to make sure that we're working with the body, that we are continuing to heal, cleanse, tone, and rebuild the lungs especially. So today, as we continue, everything we share will be based on strengthening the lungs, since this is a respiratory type infection. Here again are the instructions, how to do. I think we have some people who hadn't gotten it the last time, so I'm just giving them a chance. But remember, it's online, so you can go back through our program today and get your picture or write down the recipe. Please go through at least 2 weeks. Even if you don't have COVID, this is something you can use preventatively every day. If you're going out to work or helping others or doing things, this can be your lung tonic to just keep yourself healthy. Take a tablespoon 2 to 3 times a day, and the website is there where I shared the recipe from. Too little attention is generally given to the preservation of health. It is far better to prevent the disease than to know how to treat it when contracted. It is the duty of every person, for his own sake and for the sake of humanity, to inform himself in regard to the laws of life and conscientiously to obey them. God gave us a wonderful immune system. Now we're told even with the vaccination, there is no guarantee that you won't get sick. But we know that if we strengthen our immune system, and that's our first line of defense, if we prevent instead of focusing on how to cure it, and if we get sick, we'll be in a lot better place. We can stay healthy and fight off disease if we strengthen our immune system. And one of our first considerations will be to avoid any food that could compromise this first line of defense. Read this one with me. Let food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be food. Hippocrates said this. The food you eat can either be the safest and the most powerful form of medicine, or the slowest form of poison. Isn't that something? I want you to really digest that, because no food is on the fence. It's not on the fence. It's either going to help you or it's going to kill you, the slowest form of poison. And so we have to be definitely focused on what we're eating and don't be ambushed by our appetite. No, this is about eating just regular dietary fat, and it is associated with 50% reduction in natural killer cell activity. And this is the body's ability to fight off viruses in our body. A high-fat diet reduced natural killer cell activity by 79%. And this is the food. Are you seeing the power of our choice of food? A low-fat diet showed no reduction in natural killer cell activity. A high cholesterol diet depressed the natural killer cells to 1/4 or a quarter of their usual activity. So even our food, is giving us a disadvantage, is weakening our health. Fish oil has been observed to impair immune function and delays the clearance of viruses from the lungs. So we have to be careful. We are definitely feeding the disease or building our bodies. So let's choose to equip our bodies. Dairy, increased milk drinking resulted in decreased natural killer cell activity. A diet comprised of 25% protein hampered or slowed down the natural killer cell function, whereas a diet with only 5% of the calories coming from protein enhanced natural killer cell activity. Fresh fruits and vegetables are powerful. We underestimate those fruits and vegetables. And I want you to see this right here. People on a plant-based diet have been shown to have significantly higher intakes of antioxidants than the people who eat meat and, who eat both, meat and some veggies. 305% more of vitamin C, and these are the plant-based people. They had a 247% vitamin A more than the omnivores. They had a 313% more vitamin E, and then look at the 120% of copper. Compared with the omnivores, people on a plant-based diet have significantly higher blood concentrations of beta-carotene, vitamin C, vitamin E, and vegetarians' natural killer cell activity have been found to be how much? Twice that of omnivores, meaning their bodies functioning at a higher level, 2 times the level to bring about the protection their bodies need from disease. And I wanted to point out, antioxidants are the substances we get from in our bodies as well as in food that help to fight off the damage caused by stress and the free radicals in our bodies that cause the inflammation and cause the disease. So it's really true. Fruits are powerful. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. How many of you have heard that? Yes. Do you know 5 or more apples per week actually improve lung function? Apples contain phytochemicals which inhibit influenza viruses. One of these phytochemicals is quercetin. Haven't you been hearing about quercetin, biquercetin supplements and so forth in the news to fight off COVID and to equip your body to fight off this virus? Well, quercetin has been shown to protect the lungs from damages by the influenza, which is a virus, and so we can project that it will protect us as well from this virus. Quercetin is also found in onions, green leafy veggies, and beans. And why I'm giving you all these food is because a lot of study is showing that the food is actually more efficient in protecting our bodies than the supplements. So what did Hippocrates say? Let your food be medicine, thy food. So eat it. The pills, the absorption rate, most times it's just 20%. You're taking all these pills, unless they are the actual fruit or herb that you just put in a capsule. The synthetic ones are scarcely absorbed, so they're not able to do much for your body. Garlic, you know, it's one of the items in the ingredients in the super flu balm. Powerful antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, powerful. And in the 1918 flu epidemic, 20 people in one area ate raw garlic daily with their meals, and none of the 20 contracted the flu. And even today, people with pneumonia, people with COVID, as they use the super flu balm, they're getting, almost in one day sometimes. People would say their lungs hurt as they breathe. And as they take just the 3 tablespoons of the super flu balm, they're saying the pain is gone. God is healing, and he can continue to heal using these foods. Grapes, the resveratrol, we know about resveratrol, and it's good for the heart, but did you know that it inhibits the replication of the influenza virus within the cells, and it significantly improves survival of the influenza in mice? In a study done with mice, it showed significant improvement in mice. Some of the vitamins, vitamin A, I want you to eat some of these foods. I know you're supplementing at home, but again, the food tends to be a lot more beneficial than a pill. Again, especially if it is a synthetic form. So some foods, paprika, cayenne, you saw the cayenne was in the super flu balm, sweet potatoes, carrots, kale, spinach, the list goes on. Just Google the foods, and science again is just showing just why God chose this diet for us. The vitamin D we went over the last time, another vitamin. Patients who were vitamin D deficient were more likely to test positive for COVID by 77%. 80% of 216 COVID-19 patients at a hospital had vitamin D deficiency, and men had lower vitamin D levels than women. So we have to pay attention. This is one that we do, is from the sun. So during the winter months, we do encourage you to supplement. Know your levels and supplement. However, choose the cleanest source possible. Vitamin E is effective in helping the body reduce the number of influenza virus in the lungs. Again, all this is focusing in on the lungs. It helps prevent the loss of appetite and weight loss associated with being sick. You know, when you're sick, you lose all this weight. Vitamin D, it helps and counteracts that weight loss. What's more, vitamin E helps lower the damaging inflammation in the lungs caused by a tumor necrosis factor alpha. It is usually the inflammation in us that starts that downward spiral that leads to death at times for some of the influenza sufferers. So vitamin E, powerful, just eating good food. And some foods that are high, the sunflower seeds, almonds, flaxseed oil, wheat germ oil. Eat some sunflower seeds, add them to your diet, fresh, not roasted and salted, but fresh. They go a long way, just to name a few. Vitamin C, the highest source, and vitamin C is so popular when it comes to disease. It actually increases the macrophage, or the activity in the lungs, where it's eating up the number of viruses running around in your lungs. It's powerful. Taken before or after the appearance of cold and flu symptoms, it can relieve or even prevent them. The minute you feel a sore throat, an itchy throat, apart from drinking some water, if you would take some vitamin C, the symptoms just about go right away. And so it helps reduce damage in infected lungs, preserving vital lung function. The highest form of vitamin C on the planet is a fruit called camu camu. And it's also in strawberries, bell peppers, chives, red cabbage, a whole bunch of others. How many of you drink some lemon water first thing in the morning, some warm lemon water when you wake up? Right, just a half the slice of that lemon is giving you about 500 milligrams of vitamin C. And it goes right in. It is powerful. And it's your food. Let your food be your medicine. Selenium. It increases natural killer activities by 70% while protecting the lung tissues from inflammation. So make sure you go back through our service, go back through and get these foods so that as you go to the grocery store this week, you'll know what foods to add in your arsenal of medicine, okay? Let your food be your medicine food. We've heard a lot about zinc. And zinc, again, boosts the natural killer cell, the number of natural killer cells, and their function in our body. And you get zinc from pumpkin seed, wheat germs, sesame seed. Look for ways to incorporate these in your diet. You can make milk with sesame seed and use that with your granola. Use that in your cereal while giving yourself a zinc shot. Okay, a shot of zinc to boost the number of cells in your body that fight off viruses and their function in your body. Magnesium, they did a study that showed that, and the magnesium has to do with this great cytokine storm you always hear about. This really helps with the inflammation in the body. And here's some sources of magnesium again: rice bran, wheat bran, pumpkin seeds again, seeing similar things, same food. We've seen pumpkin seed before, didn't we? So pumpkin seed is a good one to add because sesame seed, we saw it before. So try some of these foods. They don't just provide one vitamin or one nutrient type. They are loaded with, I guess, a balance of several different ones. Here's a warning: in taking zinc, we can sometimes throw off our copper. So pay attention to your copper intake as well and your zinc intake. And I just shared a little vocabulary so we understand antibody, antigen. We're hearing these words and we're not sure if we understand what we're hearing. So I shared some vocabulary. Please go back through and just educate yourself. Copper is best obtained from spirulina, seaweed, sesame seed again, soybean, sunflower seed again. And so we're hitting a whole lot of the same food to give us that power. Echinacea is a popular one used. It increases natural killer cell activity by nearly 100%. And echinacea has been a go-to herb for years with disease. Mullein is one of our favorite herbs this time of the year because, especially now with COVID, it's an herb that clears mucus or inflammation from the lungs. It relieves pain in the lungs, and it also protects it from damage. Used in any and all respiratory illnesses such as asthma, pneumonia, bronchitis, coughs, etc. It's a must-have herb for this season. Do all you can to boost your immune system. Eat a nutritious, balanced diet. Be sure to eat a variety of nutritious foods. Avoid things that are not good for you. The alcohol, the coffee, caffeinated teas, tobacco, cigarettes. Avoid even excess salt and sugar. Drink adequate water, exercise, get enough rest, and most of all, keep your minds in tune by communicating with God daily. God has pledged himself to keep us, this living machinery, in healthful action if the human agent will obey his laws and cooperate with him. God bless.